Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's truly a great pleasure for me to be here with you and a privilege to be in your presence and have the opportunity to present to you information and inspirations that come from a lifetime of experience. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. I've been a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of California since 1974. Been in the profession for over 50 years, and in a few weeks, I'll be 84. So I'm bringing to you the experience of my clinical experience, my personal experience of a lifetime of good and bad, so to be able to help you, to uplift you and your loved ones for the rest of your lives. That's the intention, not to just help you for now while you're hearing the presentation, but for you to be uplifted forever. That's really the intention. That's the hope of the impact I'm trying to bring to you. The title of today's presentation is, do you feel your significant other should be doing more in your relationship? Do you feel your significant other should be doing more in your relationship? I hear it all the time. I see so many wonderful, beautiful people all the time. And I've heard it from women about their men, about their partners, their husbands, their boyfriends. And I've heard it from men as well, maybe not as often, but I hear it from both sides. And person says, hey, I'm working too. Or if it's a postpartum situation, a woman says, I'm overwhelmed with the baby. It's very anxious all the time. I'm always cooped up with a child. I really need some help with that, with a baby. That's legitimate as well. So the complaints have some merit to it. I'm not going to try to dismiss it on either side, but we're going to go into very important dynamics of this. People feel, well, he's not helping with the chores. He's not helping with the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, the shopping, the baby, or he's not bringing enough money. He's not working hard enough. In whatever way, those are the complaints. Now, when I use she says this about him, it could be saying him about her, but generally I'm hearing it from wonderful women, young women at home who are really doing a lot. They might feel I'm working, and then he expects me to come home and make the meals and clean, and it's just not fair. You know, he needs to step up. He needs to carry his share of the responsibility. Now, sometimes it could even be the woman's the breadwinner, and she says, well, he's not even bringing in the money. What kind of man is he? And so there's a dissatisfaction. He's not carrying his share of the responsibilities. Now, that's at the level of the mundane, everyday life that we live in, the material world on earth. And I'm not going to give you a trick. Well, all of a sudden you say this or you do that, and boom, he's jumping, he's taking care of it. Generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, people don't change on these dimensions, generally. That doesn't mean there's not hope in your situation. But that's typically what will happen. A person may change for a while and then fall back into their old ways. Now, that's at the mundane level. Now, at an emotional level, say, well, we don't really communicate. He won't open up. He doesn't really listen to me. I really need my partner, my significant other, to listen. And yeah, he doesn't listen. So I feel lonely with him. Happens a lot. And particularly with postpartum women, they're with the baby, they love the baby, they're devoted to their babies, but they need some adult conversation. And when that doesn't happen, that's a great oppression, Or not he doesn't listen, but he won't go to marriage counseling, so I have no way of resolving it. But he has time to spend with his friends, or if his brother calls, his mother, his sister, he jumps right up and goes out and takes care of, does whatever. But he won't do it for me. Uh, Now, what I want to tell you, again, I'm not going to give you a magic bullet and say, if you say this or you do this, this will help them change. I'll talk about a few things like that. But really, where I can really help you is for you to change how you react to that so that you're more at peace. If I had a magic wand and I can get them jumping and cleaning and doing at least more, I would do it. I would do that for you. But I can't. But I know I can help you be more at peace with what's happening. I know I can help you deal more honorably. Let me tell you what is going to drive you crazy and him. Nagging. Yeah, you never clean up after yourself. You know, you're just a pig, a slob, or you're not cooking. You know, I just feel used. I just feel used and abused by you. And that's all true. I'm not saying it's not true. It just leads to discord that leads to making you miserable. The thoughts are real and genuine and based on a reality. I'm not saying you're hallucinating. No, it's true. Typically, this happens because it's a reaction because also there's not gratitude. I'm sure he does amazing things for you. Just the fact that you have a relationship with him, you know, that you're sharing a life together. You love each other. You're faithful to each other. Now, if it's not faithfulness for them or you don't love each other, it's a different story. But I'm talking most of the people I see, there's love, there's an attraction, and there's a faithfulness. If any of those are missing, well, then that's a whole different story. I'm talking about that being in place. So I want to talk to you about respectfully real communication. Respectfully real communication. When you tell them, you know, I'm sick and tired of putting up with this, you're a mess, you're a slob, you're a pig, how many times do I have to tell you, put away your dishes. Clean it, wash it, and put it away. I've told you 1,000 times and you're not doing it. Well, that's a very frustrating conversation. That is a very frustrating. And it's natural that you feel frustrated. It's natural. But again, it's going to keep that kind of, that's being perceived as nagging. And typically doesn't lead to constructive results. Or maybe it will for a day or two. A week would be a lot. 2 weeks, you're probably not going to get 2 weeks out of it. You beat him over the head enough, he'll get in line for a little while, and start sliding back into the old patterns. Typically, there's exceptions to that. There really is hope for some people, but not a lot. So that's being real. When you talk that way to them, that's being real. But I want to tell you, it's better for you and the relationship to be respectfully real. You know, when you don't clean up after yourself, you're leaving your laundry on the floor, you're dropping stuff on the floor, and I'm having to gotta work and then clean up after you, I feel hurt. I feel like you don't care about me. I know you love me. I know that. But it feels like you don't when it's like that. And that's hurtful to me. So if you don't want me to feel hurt and abused and used, I know you don't want me to feel that way, do you? No, I know you don't, because you love me. If you could do that, that would help me a lot. That builds a bridge or a connection. That could be, for some of you, the magic wand where your significant other will start changing. Not guaranteed, but the nagging, I can tell you the nagging part, that's once it's perceived as nagging and complaining, and the complaints are all legitimate. I'm not trying to delegitimize, they are legitimate. Typically, just makes the relationship worse. And he just wants to get away. He doesn't want to keep hearing your complaints. That's a typical dynamic. So we're talking about respectfully real communication. Sweetheart, I love you. I really need your help. Can you do that? And You might say, one of the reasons I don't feel drawn to you, but I'm not as sexually active with you as I was, because I have so much resentment about this. Some of your foreplay to get me excited and open to you, when you start doing that, I'm more open to making love with you. Or now you talk about foreplay. Now you're talking his language. Now you're talking his language. This is foreplay. So I enjoy sex with you a lot, but I feel alienated from you when you're doing this. This is for foreplay to help me be receptive to your sexual advances. That's real. That is real. That is respectfully real. And that is, ladies, highly motivating for almost all men. So there isn't magic wand. I said I wouldn't give you a magic wand. Sex is one of the magic wands. It may be the main one. Now, the other part is to deal honorably with what's happening. And I'm going to talk about honor a little while. And when I talk about honor, after I finish talking about it, I'm going to come back to the topic at hand. And be sure to watch this video to the end, because we're going to hear the conversations and the input of our wonderful guests who are here. Lovely, wonderful, deep people who are going to add a lot to our discussion. When you get into that dissatisfaction, again, it's legitimate. Not gaslighting you, it's real and it's legitimate. Typically, you're losing sight of what you're grateful for. So if whatever complaints you have, you want to at least have a balance. I think you're really messy and a pig, and I get really ticked with you. I can't even stand you like that. At the same time, I'm really grateful that you work so hard to help support the family. I'm really grateful what a good father you are to our children. I'm really grateful. I know you in your own way. You love me. You're devoted to me. I'm really grateful how well you treat my brother, my mother, my father. I'm really grateful for that. I think you're a beautiful human being, even though I think you're a pig. Yeah, I mean, you want to get the balance. It's a balance. I highly recommend that to you. I know you love me and you do so much for me, and I think you're a pig, but I love you. But I love you and I appreciate you, and I'm really ticked at you that you're not carrying your weight. See, that's real, respectfully real. So you want to have some of the laws of love. I would be repeating this 3 times a day. I love you. I adore you. I cherish you. I appreciate you. I like you. I respect you. I'll do anything for you. I'm totally committed to you. I'll always be loyal to you. Next to God, you're my first priority always. You want to have that ready to go. Why am I telling you about that? And also, you want to keep one of the commands of honor. I wish you well. So when you're getting in your thoughts, and you're walking around, you're cleaning, you're doing, you're resentful, you go, you're saying to him in your mind, I do love you, and I do love you, and I wish you well. I do love you, and I wish you well. Because you don't feel the love at that moment. No, you're just ticked off, frustrated, understandably so. I'm so frustrated. I do love you, and I do wish you well. You're my love. I just want to strangle you. I do love you, sweetheart. That's actually the balance. If you can, it's doable. Let me tell you, but you have to be ready to have those thoughts. You have to be ready to say those words. You want to keep those laws of love going 3 times a day. So however bad something has, you're ready to come out with it. Boom, you know what? I'm really ticked at you, but I do love you. I do appreciate you in a lot of ways, but not about this, you pig. So you're still taking it, but I do love you. I'm giving you the best way to deal with it. Absolute best way. Well, you're not denying your frustration, but you're not denying your love and good wishes. You're not denying the negative, but you're not denying the positive. Because most people, when they get into that negative, they deny the positive. Deny all the things they appreciate about the other person. I want better for you than that. I want you to have more than that in life. And honor demands it. And whatever spiritual path you're on demands it as well. No matter what religion, what philosophy you follow, it demands it. So I'm giving you the best way for you to deal with it. Now, some people get so frustrated. Well, I can't stand this guy. And you have to say, should I leave him? That comes up. I just can't take it. I'm going to leave. But then you ask, well, as long as he's faithful. He's faithful. I love him. I know he loves me. Well, there's really not a basis for divorce with that. Unfaithfulness, yes. You don't love him. As a matter of fact, you fell in love with somebody else. It's understandable to go. But the foundation is there. Then on top of that, you may have children together. It even strengthens the foundation. He was part of creating this awesome child we have. I'm so grateful for that. Looks just like him. I hope he doesn't turn out to be a slob like you, but I do love you and appreciate you. But we have this beautiful child together. I'm so grateful for that. What I'm giving you in part is the psychology of how not to make it worse. The psychology of how not to make it worse. It's already bad in so many ways, but you don't want to make it worse. And I'm showing you the path to not doing that. You don't let the negative, the unfairness, the wrongness of what's happening rob you of your love, your well wishes. Now, I have men, I hear of men who tell me, my wife just doesn't carry a weight. I'm working all day. She's home. And I come home to a messy house. And I've seen where that pattern won't change. So I'm breaking my back working. I come home. She's with the kids. My meals aren't ready. House is a mess. I don't know what she's doing all day. That's a rough one. So everything I'm talking about is how not to make that worse. The man needs to then intersperse his love, his appreciation, his well-wishing. I'm not saying she's going to change. It just may not be in her. The way she was raised, or in the case of the man, the way he was raised, just may not be there at this time. So we want to balance the complaints with love and gratitude to the extent that we can. And I can tell you for a fact, what I'm telling you is doable. But you have to be committed to it. You want to keep the 4 commandments of honor going 3 times a day with the bridge and the laws of honor. Now, I'm going to spell out the 4 commands of honor in the bridge. I've done it before with you, but I want to remind you what it is in case it's the first time you're watching one of my videos. And then I'm going to come back to the subject at hand. So stay with me. All right, the 4 commands of honor. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. So when you're getting upset with them, you're co-creating it because it could be also interspersing a balance of what you appreciate and love about them, and you're just focusing on the negative. So you are co-creating your reality. You're not creating it. The son of gun's not doing his share. That's real. But you're co-creating the aggravation or the intensity of your aggravation because you're not saying, well, I'm adding to it. I'm sorry that I lose sight of all the good that you do, sweetheart. I'm pretty annoyed by this, the way you're sloppy, and I'm having to do so much more of the work. But I apologize that I'm not. That makes me lose sight of my love and my gratitude. I'm not saying you need to say that. I'm just giving you an example of what it means to take full responsibility for co-creating your reality, your problems. Third, I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. Now, this is a hardship. You're feeling that your partner's just not doing his or her part. It's unfair. That thought, that reality, is an oppression. It will oppress you. It will age you. It will make you sick. It will rob you of your sleep. It will rob you of the strength of your immune system. It will rob you of the quality of your life. And it doesn't have to be all that. I've given you the ways of balancing it. not denying it, but balancing it with thoughts of gratitude and love and endearment. And the fourth command depends whether you believe in God or not. If you believe in God as I do, it's God, your wish is my only wish. Or if you don't believe in God or wish to address God, I seek always to serve my highest values. Now, there's no system where totally always complaining to somebody and putting them down, a person can think that's God's wish. No way. Or whatever value system outside of that you have, without involving God, there's no system that would say, that's a good thing. Go ahead and just keep complaining and try to beat up your husband psychologically. There's no system that would foster that. So you're not living up to your highest values. Again, I'm not trying to minimize the injustice. Not at all. What you're talking about is real. It's unfair. I'm just trying to reduce your suffering from losing sight of the big picture. Those are 4 commands, but you have to commit your life to this path. You want to do it 3 times a day for a lifetime, because the repetition is preparation for application to help you achieve stabilization. So I have people take a pledge. It goes this way. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the 4 commands of honor, and I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll listen to myself recite them. Lifetime commitment, lifetime. 3 times a day. It takes 8 seconds. There's really no excuse for not doing it. It's 8 seconds. You could be driving, putting on your lipstick in the shower, on the toilet, wherever. 8 seconds. Then you want to optimize the probability that you're going to apply it using what I call the bridge. It's a bridge from the realm of honor to the realm of reality. The bridge is this. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So you're doing that 3 times a day as well. Now, what happens in this path, you're not looking for peace of mind anymore. You're not looking for happiness. You're looking for honor, which is the foundation of peace of mind and true happiness. So you're pursuing honor. So you want to deal honorably with him of what's going on. And the way to deal honorably, there must be respectfully real communication. Again, there are practical things. If you could afford to, you could hire some help. You can ask relatives to come in and help. You could sit down with a marriage counselor and come up with agreements. That's all good. That's all good. Having rational discussions. Now, my experience with my 84 years and 50 years of being a therapist is that truth is highly overrated. People are not, for the most part, governed by logic, but by psychological forces within them. For the most part, you have some very rational people who can really make changes based on reason and fairness. Rare, but it exists. For the most part, these things will not change, but you can change in how you're dealing with it. That doesn't mean you can't try the options of having a reasonable conversation, but often you can be disappointed. So this is what. So again, do you feel your significant other should be doing more in your relationship? For many people, the answer is yes. And so I've given you practical ways to reduce your aggravation, your heartache, ways of optimizing the quality of your life and optimizing the quality of your relationship. Then, of course, if you believe in prayer, that can't hurt and could well help. You're praying for the person, but you don't want to forget your love and you're wishing the person well. That's key. Absolutely key. Now, what I want to do, we have wonderful, wonderful people here with us. Every week, I invite our audience to speak up, ask questions, make comments. I always test out these titles before I give the lecture. I had another title I was going to give today. Instead, I went with this one. And when I talk to people, I say, oh, wow, it's going to be heated. In fact, we have issues at home with this. And so people who want to see what's going to be said now. A lot of interest in what's going to be said. I'm opening up to all you lovely, wonderful, beautiful people. Please feel free to share your comments, your questions, and we're all going to benefit. Yeah, Hugh.
From a guy's perspective, I really like the idea of complaints balanced with compliments.
Yeah, Hugh's saying from a male point of view, he loves the idea of complaints balanced with compliments. Nobody's doing it, practically nobody, but I'm showing you the way to do it. So from a male perspective, Hugh loves it. Any man would love it. Any woman would love it. Nobody's doing it. But it is doable, I promise you. I myself do it. I've taught some other people to do it. It's doable. So I'm happy for you that I can give you this knowledge, this way of life.
When a guy hears nothing but complaints, it leads to resentment and emotional separation.
Yeah. He was saying when a guy hears nothing but complaints, it leads to resentment and emotional separation. He had his ex-wife was always complaining about what a slob he is, and he's definitely not the neatest guy in the world. But she was always complaining, and I'm sure, knowing Hugh, that the complaints were very legitimate. However, she didn't express all the wonderful attributes that this man has. She would lose sight of it, and that's typically what happens. And I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I'm giving you this guidance. It's up to you to apply it. But I'm offering you what's taken me a very, very long time. 84 years of age, been doing this 50 years. I really started catching on to this. So I was about 70. So I'll be 84 in a few weeks. I finally know what I'm doing. That's the good news. You got me at a good time in my life.
You know, I may be a slob, but I'm an honorable slob.
Yeah, he said he's a slob, but he's an honorable slob. All right, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that, Hugh. Okay, let's hear who else wants to speak up.
Hello, Dr. Nerenberg. This is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, always good to hear from you, Elizabeth.
Hey, a lot of the stuff you said definitely spoke to me. Sometimes I'll tell my husband too, like, hey, I love you, but I just don't like you right now.
That's good, by the way. Let me just interrupt. That is excellent that you're able to do that. You're a rare jewel. Please continue.
Yeah, and I feel like I'll try to express. It doesn't be hard, but then kind of try to do what you just said. Like think about the positive. Like, okay, he's a great dad. He does this. He does that. And I know he even listens into some of these videos too when he has the time, and it sparks conversation. And I think that's very helpful as well.
Yes, having conversation about these presentations is very good for a couple. Very, very good. Elizabeth, you're a beautiful human being. And what you can do when you're just feeling those negative feelings towards him, you can be in your mind going, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you well. And you can say, but I do want to choke you. That's okay, but you want to keep sight of the love in your thoughts. I'm not even talking about expressing it because the thoughts itself can be very destructive to you. Very good, Elizabeth. Wow. That's what I say to you. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Totally agree.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Wow. Beautiful. I'm going to open it up to the rest of our lovely people. I know
Dr. Nerenberg, this is Elvira.
Elvira. Yes, good to hear from you, Elvira.
Yeah, we were on the Zoom meeting and my husband passed by and then he heard the subject and he's like, I better wash the dishes now before you report me.
I'm in trouble now. That doc is going to get me killed.
I said, I made sure that you hear this message.
You turned up the volume. Wow.
Yeah, he's a good provider, but a lot of times, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one doing, household chores and stuff. Well, with my mom with me, it's not that easy anymore.
Well, may she rest in peace. But let me tell you, what you just said was very honest and often the case. But at least you said he's a good provider. And
yes,
what you want to do to him is say, listen, I appreciate you in so many ways. I love you. At the same time, get off your ass and go wash those dishes. Yeah, I understand that. That way you're doing it in a more loving way. and maybe he'll be more even able to do that now. But tell him I didn't mean to get him in trouble, but
Yeah.
but
He knows I'm gonna talk about it.
but I'm glad he's doing the dishes, and but short lived. You know, the next day or next week he may not be doing them anymore. These little spurts of energy are typically short lived, and you know, if you're from my generation or generations closer to mine, the man worked, came home and rested. The wife would do everything. I'm not saying it was right or fair, but I mean, you know, you're how old's your husband?
Turning 67.
67. So he's kind of related to my generation, and
Yes.
and you're from the Philippines. He's from the Philippines.
No, he's Caucasian.
Oh, he's Caucasian. Okay, because certain cultures have it even more. So, so there's that cultural indoctrination of the man's role, the woman's role. Again, I'm not trying to justify the status quo. Not at all. Not at all. At the same time, I think the men, it behooves us to really show gratitude towards our women. I mean, my wife, for example, is doing everything all the time, working, cleaning the house, cooking, so devoted to me and to the children. My problem with my wife is she doesn't want to stop taking care of us. Not that she does too little, she does too much. I need her to rest more, but that's not her. But I have an opposite problem that most people have. But thank you for your input, Elvira, and tell your husband I wish him well.
Yeah, he's always listening.
Yeah,
Just
good.
now he's in the backyard, so I went and bring my phone.
Yeah.
Dr. Nerenberg is Gisela.
Gisela, good to hear from you, Gisela.
Yeah, I always get inspired by audio conversation, and I always come up with like these ideas. So I just wanted to share this part where I came up with what complaint means. So complaint, let's see, calm, communication, plainly to express your honorable views. So complaint, I converted it into communicate plainly to express your honorable views.
That's what we want. You're good at doing that.
Convert the negative into something positive, because when you hear complaint, we automatically think this negativity. But I just get so inspired that I'm starting to transform the negativity into a positive. So that's why I'm transforming what complaint actually means or should mean for our honorable views.
I've seen you do these little mnemonics before. You're kind of amazing how quickly you can do it. Now, just to let you know, the negativity stays. Not like now it's a positive thing. It's just it becomes balanced. So you're still going to have maybe some complaints, some resentments, but you're going to be balancing it with more honorable statements, more honorable thoughts, because there's two types of thoughts. The ones that pop into your mind, but do not define who you are. It's based on your genetics, family upbringing, societal norms. Then there's the category of thoughts that we choose to have. Like we can choose to have the 4 commands of honor. We can choose to have the bridge. We can choose to have the laws of honor. So we can choose that thought. So you can't help getting these negative thoughts towards your significant other. You can't help it. Don't worry about it. You're not responsible. You didn't choose it. But you are responsible for balancing it with a constructive, honorable thought, as you said. Perfect. That's perfect, Gisela. Perfect.
You're welcome. I get inspired by everything that you cover. So
I'm always amazed how
these
fast
ideas just come up.
Well, that's inspiration because you come up with those fast, right on the spot. I've seen you do it before many times. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, doctor, it's Paul.
Paul, let's hear what you have to say, Paul.
Hey, guys. I'm relatively new, so third Zoom, but and I'm using the things that you're giving me, so I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the feedback and the testimonials from everyone else. So I'm on a good path personally with my significant other, and I just wanted to say that things are helping with these calls. So thank you.
No, you're most welcome, Paul. And that was my intention. I want this to help you for now and forever. So I'm interested in the arch of your life, of all your lives. I want to help you with whatever you're going through now, but I'm really interested in you at 95 years of age. I want you to be able to say to me, whether I'm here on earth or not, Dr. Nerenberg, I'm 95 years old. I've lived an honorable life, and I have no regrets. That's what I want. That's what the teachings are about, to bring that conversation about with the 95-year-old you.
Thank you. We appreciate your knowledge, man.
You're most welcome. Hard earned. A lot of mistakes were helpful to me. I damaged
Thank you.
myself in many ways in my younger years. You're most welcome.
Hey, Dr. Nerenberg, this is John.
John, always good to hear from you, John.
You as well, sir. Start off, thank you so much for this talk this evening. It was wonderful. Also, I kind of reminded of something I was told about 25 years ago. One of my surgeons I work with, I just gotten married at that time, and I had told him that he had shared some knowledge with me, kind of like what you shared today. He said, if you work and she works, you both clean the house. If you work and she doesn't, then you help at least 25%. Just because she's at home doesn't mean that she does everything at home and you get to just sit around. And I've always kept that with me in all my relationships, and even throughout my marriage. That was something that I always made sure that I never set down more than she did.
Well, you know, John, that surgeon was also not a surgeon of the body, but a surgeon of the spirit and the body and the mind. Yes. So he was a healer. That's a healer.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful advice. And I would say that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Thank you for that input, John, and for sharing what your surgeon said. Really good advice.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very good. Anybody else have anything you want to ask or say?
Hi, Dr. Nerenberg. This is Tracy.
Tracy, my dear goddaughter, I'm always glad when you're here.
Yeah, I'm here. I just stay quiet sometimes. But this topic, maybe it's in the alignment in the sky, because I feel like a lot of people have been having issues with their significant other when it comes to this little things, nagging and things like that, including myself. And I feel like I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that. But as a woman, you do want to be heard. It's not just about being heard. It's about being listened to. And are you taking in what I'm saying? So, I mean, recently I feel like it's so many times where I have to, repeat myself, and I do it sweetly and I do it in different ways. And I mean, if I could be honest with you, recently I had to release the demons, and it was terrible. It was terrible. And I hate that. And I haven't opened up a part of myself like that in years with the tone in my voice and just what I felt like this very angry child that just wanted to be heard.
Well, Tracy, I know you very well. And I know how much you want what's good for you and for your husband and the family, for your brother, for your parents. I know your devotion to family, unbelievably powerful. And I know how frustrated you get when you're not being listened to and you're not following your really good advice. I mean, the advice you give is really good. And it's for the other person's well-being as well. I know that you don't get hurt. So I would say the key thing is for the significant other to hear. They may not do what you ask, though, but to hear it. I know you have that. Hopefully some of the things I've said today with the balancing could help you. I love you. I have so much respect for you, and I admire you. But I know you can get pretty fiery if it gets past a certain point. I know that. And it's going to be okay. And it's good that you didn't like what came out. That's because you've got such a beautiful heart. Because of your beautiful heart, so I don't like this. Somebody else wouldn't have had a bad reaction to it. You did. So that's the Tracy I know. Yeah.
It's terrible to say this, but I feel like on some level, it it worked in a way, because it's, things that I've been bringing up monthly, like this, it's really important. This is really important. And it's the same thing over. And it's just like, look, this, when are you going to hear that this is really important?
Well, let me tell you something. If you get angry enough, you intimidate the person enough, they'll shape up for a while. I don't know if it'll be long term, but it might last a few weeks or even a month. If you get 2 months out of it, that's really good. But that intimidation costs you a lot to summon up what you call the demons, and probably makes them a little more afraid of you, which you might be already, because you have that. You're very loving and giving, but you also have a very fiery aspect to you, and I'm sure he's intimidated by it, and I'm sure he felt very beat up by you, and I'm sure that make them change for a while. You beat somebody up, they'll change for a while. Hopefully it'll be long term. But my experience is typically it's not. Let me know if it stays long. Let me know. Let's see, we're coming into May, June. Let me know if he's still shaped up by 4th of July. If he's done that, then that's amazing. But you're right. This good kicking the person does help for a while, and typically it slides back. Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't like feeling that way. I haven't felt that way. I haven't felt that force come out of my vocal cords. I want to say I was like middle school, late elementary school, from being pestered by my brother. It felt like that. I had to, even though we were in 2 separate rooms with the door open, it's like I needed to be heard from that far away, and my heart to be felt, my hurt to be felt, even though they were, it's because if they were near me, that would not have come out of me, because I feel like, with volume level, and if someone's nearby, it's just different. I don't know. I needed to be where I was. I needed to be even sitting on the floor and not standing up. I needed to ground myself. And
it sounds like, given if you're going to release that energy, that sounds like an ideal situation for, if a person has to release that energy. And you can ask yourself, could I have conveyed the message? I'm sure you've tried every which way in terms of, hey, I feel very not heard, not neglected. I feel that you don't respect me. I'm not saying any of that would have made any difference, but that's the vulnerability. But the truth is that rage, under the rage, was vulnerability. You felt abandoned, neglected, not listened to, disrespected. That's underneath it. And, it's one thing to yell. It's one thing to yell things against the person, nothing to yell, hey, I feel so hurt. I feel so disrespected, and screaming or whatever. But that's staying closer to the truth. That's hard to do, though. You really have to be imbued with the idea that beneath all negativity is vulnerability, to be able to scream that at somebody. It's one thing to say, yo, son of a gun, you don't listen, you worthless piece of crap. And underneath it, hey, now instead of that, it's like, hey, listen, I feel you listen. I feel so neglected. It makes me lonely with you. You're killing me. And so the energy could be there, but the words, once you stay with respect for real communication, you could go there. That's doable. It's not easy for most people. I can do it, by the way. That's why I know it's doable. But you would have to really be committed to respectful, real communication. Doesn't mean you're not going to raise your voice. Mm-hmm. It might be, listen, I love you, but I can't stand you right now. You're never doing what I asked you to do. Feel disrespected, feel hurt, I feel abandoned by you. I do love you, and I appreciate you. I do wish you well, but you're killing me. So you scream it. I'm not saying you have to always talk, oh, sweetheart, would you do this? I'm not saying that. We're humans. But the words that come out matter, and I'm showing you the way to have the right words and remain honorable in the situation.
Right. Thank you.
No, thanks for speaking up. I'm sure that some of our wonderful people here can identify with what Tracy said. You can see how heartfelt that was, how real and genuine Tracy is. I'm sure those of you listening, or those amongst you, can identify with that. So please feel free. I'll take a few more comments and and we'll move on. But I'd love to hear from you. We all need to hear from you. You help everybody else when you speak up.
Hi, this is Christopher. I'd just like to state that you guys that are married, that have fought through relationships and all the differences over the years, you guys have a lot of patience. And I would just like to take my hat off to you guys, because I wanted to have that kind of life. I ended up just a workaholic, but you guys are the strength of our country, the married couples and families. So my hat's off to you guys that are making it work. God bless you all.
Christopher, that's beautiful. You're amazing. You're amazing, Christopher.
God bless you too, Christopher.
Yeah. Yeah, you are so lovely, Christopher. You're just a lovely man, very honorable man. I have a lot of respect and love for you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, Christopher.
Dr. Nerenberg. This is Dominic. Am I coming through?
Dominic, you're coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, I just want to. I don't do well with speaking in front of others, but I'm really trying to. Because from this topic, it did help me view it a little bit differently. And then what Elvira, I believe it was Elvira, she was saying that she has to say it a few different ways, and they still don't get it. So I am getting something from this, and I do. It gives me a different point of view. So I do appreciate this knowledge, and thank you for this, Dr. Nerenberg, and I appreciate it.
Dominic, you're very articulate. You're very eloquent. You come across really well, and it's going to be preserved on the video. And you've helped a lot of people just by sharing that. I found it very uplifting just hearing you. And I could hear the genuineness and sincerity in your voice. Beautiful. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Doctor,
It's you.
for those who have a spiritual belief, pray for the people who have said they're having problems in their marriage today.
Yeah. So he was saying that, we can all pray for people for those who have a spiritual belief, to pray for the people having problems in their relationship today. So you can't go wrong with prayer ever. And it's a very, it has an effect on the ether. It has an effect on reality. Thanks for that, Hugh. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say?
Dr. Nerenberg, it's Claudia. How are you?
Please repeat your name.
It's Claudia.
Claudia. Good to hear from you, Claudia.
Hello. Dr. Nerenberg, so my question to you is, how do you deal, I'm in a relationship with a man that's very strong-willed, and he's from New York, I'm the Bronx.
Oh, you're Bronx? Oh, my God. Okay. I was born in the Bronx. Yeah, go ahead.
So how do you deal with a guy that has a lot of machismo and doesn't want to be called, I don't know, he uses this word, I'm not a simp. So how do you get through someone like that?
Okay.
It has strong personality, and certainly I don't want to seem like I'm nagging, but it really seems like I have to ask over and over just simple things that just would make our lives a lot easier. But again, he just has a very strong personality, and I sometimes don't know how to navigate unless I yell.
Does he listen to you when you yell? Does that get through?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. It's one thing to yell, raise your voice. It's another thing what you say. So if you have to raise your voice for him to hear you, really hear you, but keep your words honorable. And you can yell at him that you love him, but you're very angry at him that he's not doing this, but you can yell as loud as you want that you love him and you need him to do whatever. So it's what you say. You may need to raise your voice. Plus we're very loud people. It took me a long time to not raise my voice so much because I came to California and found out people don't like it. When I was raising my voice, it took a long time. In fact, at the time my voice starts going up again. So yeah, I think it reaches better when you raise your voice, but the words, you want to be able to say, I love you, I respect you, I appreciate you so much, but I can't stand this. You're not listening. Say it as loud as you want. He might need it. Some people, if you raise your voice, they shut down. But New Yorkers, we go, oh, you're talking to me. Oh, you're talking to me. Okay. Yeah, it might be necessary.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Very good. I'm glad you asked that question. Well, it's been my pleasure to present to you, do you feel your significant other should be doing more in your relationship? Thank you so much for allowing me to bring this to you.